All right. Make sure everything's up and running here. You already know what it is. Okay, we're live. All right, we're good. A little early, but I'm here, and better late than never. So I got some explaining to do. So originally, I wanted to do this as a Halloween stream, but some things came up. Firstly, last week, like I think it was just about a week ago, I had a very unfortunate incident with my PS5. Normally, I have at least two charging cables that are like directly in front of it, and where my PS5 is positioned, it's literally right in front of me because it's right in front of my dresser where I'm sitting. And if I have two charging cables in front of me, usually I have to get up and I have to like step over it. Now, usually I'm pretty good about this, but it snagged, it got caught, and it caused the PS5 to come tumbling down and it hit the ground. Now, on the way down, it hit the ground so hard that it yanked on the HDMI and it mangled the HDMI port in the PS5, which means that I could not see anything and I could not hear anything. So my PS5 was basically out of commission for a little bit, and I had to take it in for repairs. I don't think there has ever been a time where I've ever had to take in my console for repairs before. I've never had to do that until last week. Luckily, it was done fairly quick. I just had to wait 3 days to get an appointment with the guy, and we had it taken care of fairly quick. He even cleaned it out as a courtesy. So we're back up and running, and here we are. Also, in the meantime, within that same week, I had gotten my hands on a brand new phone, which thank God, because I've been using the same phone type for like a decade now. It feels very refreshing and very weird having it's an iPhone 16 and it doesn't even have a home button. It has a new USB type and it has no home button, and that's really taken some getting used to. Anyway, so yeah, Vampire Survivors, we're back again. So anyway, if you've been keeping up with Vampire Survivors, I'm sure you know that there has been a massive update recently. We have online. We have a bunch of stuff with online, though. We had an update called the Westwood Update. We had a part 2, so to speak, for the Ode to Castlevania DLC, in which we have 16 new characters, 16 new weapon unions, and, of course, more remixes. I'm mostly going to be showing off that stuff today as much as I can. But I think along with that, we got... What else did we get? We got... Oh, yes! Balatro. We got a Balatro collab this time, too. So this is a pretty meaty update we've got. So, lots of big stuff. I don't know if I'm going to show off all of it necessarily, but I do want to show off the new Castlevania stuff, because we already know what it is. Alright, what's going on, Dan? Oh yeah, and of course, we finally have the Ode to Castlevania Adventure chapter, which, as you can tell, I haven't really dabbled too much with the adventure stuff because, I don't know, they're challenging. These things are really challenging. You're going to die a lot in these because they're basically kind of like, it's like a roguelike within a roguelike. Is that how I want to describe it? I don't know. Anyway, so remember how before when we had the first Ode to Castlevania update, we had, or at least it was advertised as 20 plus characters. And then we were pleasantly surprised when we found out that we had 80 fucking characters to pick from, right? Well, unfortunately, that isn't the case this time. There is no, wording shenanigans here. What you see in the trailer is what you get. We do only get 16 characters, which, we still don't have everyone. And they do say in the trailer, like, when we said everyone is here, we meant everyone. Well, you're still missing quite a few people, Ponkle. You know, I don't want to be that guy, but you still are missing a good chunk of people. You know. Anyway, so what are the new characters? I do have all of them unlocked, uh, courtesy of the spell book. I have no shame in saying that. A couple of them I unlocked legitimately, but for the most part, I just buckled down and just got them via the codes, just because I want to play as the character. All right. I talked to someone about this earlier. They were like, "Oh, well, you know, what's the point in using a code if you're just gonna get the characters that way? Now you have no reason to play." I'm like, I'm still gonna play the game. I have over 140 hours in this game. I'm still gonna play. I just want to play as the character. Uh, anyway, so the new characters that we have are Hugh. Yes, we finally have Hugh Baldwin from Circle of the Moon. This was probably one of the more anticipated characters, and that's why they made him like the poster boy for the DLC. So we have Hugh, and along with Hugh, we have Morris. So we got the whole Baldwin bloodline here. So he uses the Volman Way. Morris uses the Kaiser Knuckles. We have Annette, and someone from the trailer that I didn't immediately recognize because I just the way the hair looked, the dress, I was like, who else wears blue? Like, what other character am I missing that wears blue? It's not Sypha. It's not Sarah. I'm like, who the fuck else wears blue? It's like, oh, and then someone came in like, oh, it might be Tara. I'm like, really? Huh. And yeah, lo and behold, it's Tara. This is one of the women that you have to save in Dracula X and Rondo of Blood. And I think this is using her Dracula X design, yeah. So that's that. We've got Aricado, totally not Alucard. He uses the pocket knife, which will then transform into the Claim Solage. I think that's how that's pronounced from how I remember it. It's like some Irish pronunciation, I forget. We have the Stone Skull, the Ruler Sword, Persephone, Astarte, I think that's how you pronounce her name. This is probably one of those names I keep butchering. Drolta Suentes, yes, the real Drolta, not that fucking goddamn fucking glam, fucking glowing hair, fucking sexy succubus bitch. No, like the actual Drolta, the ugly old haggly robed, you know, old lady. Actrice from Castlevania 64 is here. I'm going to get into this in a second about why I'm a little bit disappointed with this roster, but just bear with me. The Shrine Wizard, yes, that one incredibly easy mini boss from Bloodlines is here. The Fake Trio. Yeah. From Symphony of the Night. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty cool. Slogger and Gaibon. I'm surprised these guys weren't here the first time. I'm honestly surprised that these guys weren't in the original roster the first time around because of how iconic they are. But yeah. And there he is, the Dio reference himself, Zephyr. What is this other weapon? Oh, sickles. And Jiangshi, that one bouncing vampire enemy from Order of Ecclesia. This has probably got to be the most, like, random, obscure monster they could have put in here. I don't know why Jiangshi is in here out of any other character. But yeah, I think that's all 16. Yeah. So, what do I think of this? As an extension, I mean, yeah, it's nice that we have more characters. It's nice to have Hugh. It's nice to have Morris. You know, it's nice to have, you know, Drolta, Actrice, the Fake Trio, Zephyr. You know, those are cool choices. But, you know, when I saw Actrice, I was like, please let there be Malice. Please tell me that Malice is in the game. Maybe even Gilderoy, maybe. Nope. No Malice. And I was like, damn, dude. How are you gonna put Actrice in here but not Malice? He's the main villain. Like, Actrice is like the secondary antagonist for Carrie's story. But like, I'm like, dude, it's just, man, I wish that we got more. I really do wish we got more. And I know that sounds greedy because we already have like 100 characters. Like, look, I can't be too upset, right? Look how many characters we got. I'm not late. No, you're not late, Juan. You were just in time. We're just going over the characters. We're just going over the update so far. But, yeah. Man, I know we have like 100 characters here, but it's like if you're really gonna buckle down and say that everyone is here, you gotta make sure that at least all the mainline heroes and villains are here, right? And this kind of bugs me because like look at how many random like monsters are in here, right? Like the cave troll, the flea man, the axe armor frozen shade, the sniper, the stone skull, the ruler sword, fucking Jiang Shi. Like, I'm pretty sure you could have done away with a couple of these in favor for some notable characters, right? I'm sure you could have done that. And I talked to someone about this. I posted about this on Twitter the other day, and someone did respond. And I guess Ponko clarified that, the reason why there are a couple missing characters that should be here, like Desmond or Gabriel or Malice, is I guess there were restrictions with the licensing. There were just some characters that they wanted to put in, but they just were not allowed to, which I kind of figured that would happen in some capacity. But I was like, man, really? But like, here's the thing, though. If you have access to Castlevania 64, if you're able to put in all these characters like Reinhardt and Cornell, right, and Carrie, if you're able to get all these characters, then surely you can get Malice in here too, right? Right? Gilderai, let's get the whole fucking cast in here. It's like whatever. I can't be too mad. Can't be too mad, right? Anyway, so for this stream, we are only going to be using the new subset of characters that we got because that's the whole point. I've already streamed this game enough, so it's like, yeah, we might as well just focus on the new characters. Mizrak, Lenore, oh my god, Juan. I'm glad they didn't do any Netflixvania stuff. And I find it funny that, Drolta, look, they used the real Drolta, yeah. Yeah, no Netflixvania stuff as of yet, and I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think they have more dignity and self-respect than that. So, starting off, we're going to use Hugh. So, Adept with Valmanway, as we can clearly see, might receive Coat of Arms as 4th level up option until level 15. So we might get it. So we have a chance of getting the Coat of Arms until level 15 for every 4th level. That's a little specific. Like that's a very arbitrary and specific buff. All right. So I played a little bit with him. I guess we'll do the library. All right. Hang on. Let's turn some stuff down for a minute. I want to have the music up a little bit, that way you can hear the new remixes. And this is one of them. We got a remix of New Messiah, which for some reason, again, I don't know why they gave it to Hugh. I don't know why they didn't just give this to Christopher. And it's weird because they did do a few new remixes, and they gave the new remixes to their respective characters. Like, they did a remix of Young Nobleman of Madness, and they gave it to Isaac. That's his boss remix. Guess we'll go with Santa Water. But I'm like, why didn't they just give New Messiah to fucking Christopher? So for Hugh, ideally, I'm just going to be sticking with swords or whatever blades I can find, because, that's the thing that he's adept with. Oh, hey, look, there's a coat of arms. I guess I'll go with cross, because that does technically evolve into a sword. Isaac should have some offbeat, stereotypically tribal African-sounding dubstep as his theme. Maybe for Netflix, Isaac, sure. Come on, give me another sword. Yeah, Tearfing, there you go. I heard the Anti-Soul Mystery Lab theme was great. It is great. I've been drawing as of late, as I always do, and typically when I draw, I have music playing in the background, and I find that like recently, for like the past few months, whenever I draw, I usually just have Ponkel remixes playing. I usually just have the Ode to Castlevania remixes playing a lot because they're just that good. Yeah, skip it. But no, I love these Ode to Castlevania remixes, and I'm hoping that eventually we get them released on like Spotify and Apple Music, because I need to own these tracks. I need to own these. I'm tired of having to pull up YouTube to listen to these. I'd rather just own them. Though part of me has to assume, well, part of me has to wonder, because I don't know if they did Contra. Because I looked up, they do have some of their soundtracks available, like for their DLCs and such, but I don't think I saw the ones for Among Us or Contra. So I wonder if there's like a licensing thing going on there. I would imagine that's the case. Because if there's a licensing thing going on to where it's like, oh no, you can't just sell our soundtracks, like that's our stuff. Like, because like technically speaking, yes, those are Castlevania tracks. You can't just sell those as your own, but you know, these are remixes. These are different. Like, people sell remixes all the time. Like, I can go on Apple Music right now, and there's like a bunch of like tribute bands that have Castlevania covers that you can buy. There's tons of those. So it's like, why not? Why can't we get an official release of Ode to Castlevania soundtrack? Why not? I think Konami would be pretty on board for that. Why not? They're just remixes. And hell, a few of them sound very different from how they're supposed to sound. Some of them aren't exactly one-to-one. Some of them make a few liberties here and there, and some of them sound a little bit different, but they still sound good. I mean, yeah, I imagine there probably does need to be an agreement with Konami, but, like, yeah, I think I speak for most people when I say that we want to own this shit. I should probably check my audio levels, because I don't want the... I mean, clearly you can understand me if you know what I'm saying, but you know how it is. Okay, that's fine. That's perfect. All right. I want a damn sword. Oh, there's one right there. Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon is one of the Saga weapons that we got. Oh, and I could have swore I saw a Flamberge in there too. Whatever. We got the Twin Dragon. It's fine. What to talk about? I'm trying to think of something that's new. Halloween is over, October is past, and unfortunately we did not get anything new Castlevania-wise from Konami. Sad days, very unfortunate. I thought for sure that they would capitalize on it and that we would get something, but someone reminded me that next year is indeed Castlevania's 40th anniversary, which means it is very possible that they could be saving something big for that. Maybe multiple things. I was actually considering doing a video, or maybe even I might even just make a tweet about it. I'll probably run up like a prediction thing where we talk about like what they might do for the 40th anniversary. I have 4, or at least maybe 5, good guesses for what they might do. Firstly, they might be saving the next collection for that. They might be saving the big 3D collection for the 40th anniversary. They might be doing that. What do I want here? Ooh, criticals. There's a good chance that we're most likely going to get the collection when the 40th anniversary drops. That's probably the most likely outcome. right? Because if we're not getting it this year, it's got to be next year, right? Surely. Surely, right? Second one. This would be an absolute prime time for them to give us a console port of Grimoire of Souls. I talk about it all the damn time. We've been sitting here waiting for it year after year. I think it's time for it to happen, right? And the thing is, you know, there was speculation about it for a while, about, you know, the quote-unquote 3-year exclusivity contract with Apple. Because for a lot of Apple Arcade games, they usually, yes, they're on Apple Arcade for a certain period of time, and they eventually make their way to consoles. There was a Shantae game that was like that. Hello Kitty Island Adventure was one of them. And now, you know, now I'm just waiting for Castlevania Grimoire of Souls to happen. And it is well past the 3-year mark. So, what gives? Again, there was, like, that was never officially stated by anything. That was just speculation. Like, we could totally be wrong about that. We don't know what exactly the stipulations were with the contract. We don't know. But I do think that it is high time for that game to come over to consoles. Because I'm fairly positive that at least 90% of Castlevania fans haven't gotten a chance to play it. Because not only is it bad enough that you've alienated your player base to only have iPhones, because you can't play it on Android. So not only do you need to have a phone to play it, you need to have an iPhone to play it. And not only do you need to have an iPhone to play it, you need to be subscribed to Apple Arcade. So you need to have an iPhone, and you need to have a subscription to Apple Arcade to even play it. Yeah. So, very, very limited amount of people who can actually play the game. Luckily, I've already played through it for the most part. I haven't, like, beaten it, because, again, that game is just way too grindy at the moment. I'm close. I think I'm like 90% of the way through the game. I'm like at the very last chapter or two. But it is so grind heavy because it's a gacha game. And they made it a single player experience, but it feels like they neglected to balance it out. Like they neglected to tweak the gacha stuff, and they neglected to balance out like the way grinding works. Because it is such a chore. That game is such a chore to get through when you're trying to just get through the story. Because the power creeps are just insane. Like the jumps in the power gap when you go from chapter to chapter, it just gets harder and harder. And the only way to get stronger is to grind. And unfortunately, you can't grind because they do this stupid thing where they're like, oh, you can only do this event 3 times a day. You can only do the XP event 3 times a day. You can only do the gold event 3 times a day. Come back in 24 hours. It's like, why though? This is an offline single-player experience. Why are you limiting my progress? So I do hope that when they bring it to consoles that they do address that. Because that does not need to be there. You do not need to limit my progress by halting me for trying to grind. Like, oh no, come back in 24 hours. Fuck that. Oh, there we go. We can get a new sword with this. Which one should I get, though? Oh, give me that. Yeah, Legionnaire. There we go. I don't want that. Bounces. So that was Grimoire of Souls. That's my second guess. Third one. Now this one is interesting, okay? We need to do something about Castlevania Requiem, Konami. It is the biggest elephant in the room. What are we going to do about Castlevania Requiem? What do we do about this thing? Because there's quite a few going on. There's a few things going on with this, right? One, it's been locked to PlayStation for years now. It came out in 2018, and it is still exclusive to PlayStation. Second, it is known for using the Dracula X Chronicles ports of Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood, right? Now, a lot of people don't like that. There's a lot of people who would rather have the PlayStation 1 versions, maybe even the Sega Saturn versions. Now me, I love the Dracula X Chronicles port. I don't have a problem with it. Like, I'm totally fine the way it is. I'm not someone who's all nostalgia happy and I don't have rose-tinted glasses for the PS1 version. I really don't care, right? But I see plenty of people out there who complain about it. They're like, oh, I don't want to play the new version because it sucks. The voice acting sucks. You know, I want the old campy, you know, bad fucking voice acting back. I want the, have at you! What is a man? Like, you know, they want that back, right? And that's fair, that's valid, you know, people want options. So, and the other thing too, right? Since these are the Dracula X Chronicles ports, and since Requiem blatantly uses artwork from Dracula X Chronicles, it makes you wonder, when are we going to get a remaster of Dracula X Chronicles then? So, here's what I suggest. I suggest that they go back to Castlevania Requiem, they update it for new platforms and like PS5 and Switch 2 and whatever. They update it, make it up to date. They give us every version of Symphony of the Night, every version of Rondo of Blood and what have you, and give us a remastered version of Dracula X Chronicles. How's that sound? That might be a little bit of an ask. That might be too much. But I think that's totally fair, because, like, this is Symphony of the Night we're talking about. Like, this is their biggest moneymaker. I'm surprised they haven't, like, taken this opportunity a long time ago. Like, you'd think that they'd be milking Symphony of the Night for all it's worth, right? Because, honestly, at this point, like, when it comes to these collections, like, when it came to, like, the Advanced Collection and the Dominus Collection... Oh, we should probably quit. Alright, we're gonna go pick a new character. So when it comes to these new collections, every time these new collections are announced, all too often I keep hearing stuff like, oh, when are we gonna get Symphony of the Night on the Switch? Can you give us Symphony of the Night on the Switch? I just want to play Symphony of the Night on the Switch. It's like, okay, Konami, can we just shut these people up already? Can you just give them what they want? So, here's what I suggest, right? You know, I keep hearing like, oh, it's a licensing thing with Requiem. It's because Sony won't let him go. You know, Sony won't let that game go because they helped make that dub. I'm like, okay, I understand that. But here's the thing. At some point, Konami especially, like, I know they love the new dub. I know they love the new dub, and I know they love the new updated version. I understand that. But the way that people keep demanding this game to come to other platforms and the fact that they're still waiting for it, I think you're going to have to make some compromises, right? If you can't get a hold of that version, if you really can't get a hold of the new updated Dracula X Chronicles version of Symphony of the Night and whatnot, then I'm afraid you're just going to have to use the old versions then. Then I'm afraid you're just going to have to use the old versions of Symphony of the Night and just port them that way. And I'm pretty sure most people would be fine with that anyway, considering how many people don't like the new dub. Again, I'm fine with it. I like the new dub just fine, but like the majority of Symphony of the Night fans out there, they don't like it. And I'm sure they'd be perfectly fine if you just took the original PS1 version and ported it over to all the other platforms. So it's a weird situation. It's a really weird situation, and you know, it is one that I do think they need to address. They might do it for the 40th anniversary, but I don't know, right? Who knows? Who knows? All right. Anyway, Morris, let's go to the dairy plant. Oh, he gets Anti-Soul Mystery Lab. Okay, well here you go. Now you get to hear it. I'll talk about the fourth thing in a second. Let's just listen to this remix for it real quick. Good stuff. Good stuff. So anyway, the fourth thing that I wanted to talk about. It also would be a great time for them to do a Konami Rebirth collection. Yeah, we've been talking about that for a while too. Finally, give us a collection with Contra Rebirth, Gradius Rebirth, and Castlevania Adventure Rebirth, right? I think we've all been waiting for that. I think that would reasonably be the next big thing to do for the 40th anniversary, is to give us a Konami Rebirth collection, right? So yeah, definitely get that in there. Now the fifth thing, and this is also very plausible, is that it is very possible that we could get a brand new installment. Now, as to what that new installment would be is anybody's guess. It could be a remake. It could be a brand new game. Who knows? Because Konami has surprised us before, right? That's the thing with Konami. They're very unpredictable these days. Like, I remember when they gave us 6 brand new Silent Hill announcements at once. They could do the same thing with Castlevania. Like, literally, out of the blue one day, Konami came out and just said, by the way, we're doing 6 brand new Silent Hill projects. Like, they really wanted us to know that they were locked in. And then recently, they surprised us with the Haunted Castle Revisited remake. That came out of nowhere. So, it could be anything. Even in the next collection, we can get another remake of some type. We don't know. So, it's very, very possible that we could get a new game in some capacity. That's also very possible. So, yeah, that's basically it. That's my speculation, or prediction rather, for what is going to be in the 40th anniversary celebration. So, 3D collection, or collection of some type. What? Do I have another sword? Oh wait, no, I'm using Morris. I'm an idiot. I'll probably just use Aura Blast. Fuck it. So, yeah. 3D collection. Second thing would be a Grimoire of Souls port for consoles. Third thing, address Castlevania Requiem. Give us an updated version of it. Maybe call it like Castlevania Requiem Reprise or something like that. Requiem Plus. I don't know. Just an updated version of Castlevania Requiem for all platforms, because it needs it. The fourth thing would be Konami Rebirth Collection. And the fifth thing would probably be an unforeseen new game of some type. Who knows what it would be, remake or otherwise. Okay, well, I have the bracelet, so I need to show off these new weapon unions too. Because we do have new weapon unions. Specifically, they actually are utilizing the... If I can go ahead and show these off real quick. So, in the original update, when Ode to Castlevania came out, we had all these brand new weapons here, okay? Now, the thing with these weapons is that they didn't have a union. You couldn't evolve these. You just bought them and then you could upgrade them, but they did not have a union of their own. Now they do. So, if you find the right combination for these, they will upgrade. They will evolve into something. Unfortunately, I do not have one of those, but I do have the Kaiser Knuckle, which is a brand new weapon, and of course it has a union. And we're about to find out what that union is. If you've seen the trailer, you already know what it is, but for those that haven't seen it, you'll find out. I don't think I'm gonna show off every character because I'm probably only going to show off like the characters, not like the little like monsters, because I don't really care about those guys. I'm not gonna play as the Stone Skull. I'm not gonna play as the Ruler Sword. I'm not gonna play as, you know, Jiang Shi. I'm not doing that. I'd rather just play as like the actual like characters. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll do a separate stream where I play as the goofy monsters. I'll do a goof off stream one day where I'm like, you know what? Let's just play as the monsters. Let's fuck around and just play as the the little fodder characters, right? That'll be a separate stream when I decide to do that. Do 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 do. It's so weird why they gave this theme to Morris. Like, why? Why did they give him this theme? Do, 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 do. Ah. Ah, there we go, the upgraded bracelet. Now we just gotta upgrade it one more time, and then we can get it fully evolved, and then we'll see what that new weapon union is. I keep forgetting his first name is Morris. It is kind of confusing, because we already have a Morris clan in this game series. It's like, we already have John Morris and Jonathan Morris. And then you have a dude literally named Morris. Okay, and you're like, okay. Yeah, I'm not worried about the kick. Yeah. There we go, there's the 3 bracelets. So now, the next time we pick up a chest, we should get the weapon union that we want. What else is there to talk about? Been playing Fortnite recently, for no real reason other than to check out the events. We had the Halloween event, and now we've got the Simpsons event going on. I don't normally play Fortnite too much. I usually just occasionally get on whenever there's a cool crossover, whenever there's a cool event going on. Oh yeah, here's the new union. They're like Earth Fists. It's that one glyph from Order of Ecclesia. So here you go. I forget what the name of it's called, but yeah. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Hulk smash! I didn't mean to banish it, god damn it. Fucking finicky ass buttons, man. But no, yeah, I've just been playing Fortnite a bunch lately just to fuck around. Been playing Battlefield 6. Man, I tell you, it definitely feels a little bit weird not playing your yearly Call of Duty because, you know, I was that guy for a long time, just playing the annual Call of Duty game every year, no matter what. But just the way that Activision's been treating the series, just how greedy they've been getting with how bad they treat the matchmaking and just how repetitive everything has gotten, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to play this again this year. Like, I don't know if I want to play Black Ops 7. So, you know, me and my bro, we just collectively sat down and we were like, alright, I guess we're just going to lock in and just do Battlefield this year. And I've never really played Battlefield, and so it feels really weird playing a game that is like Call of Duty, but not exactly. Like, the way to describe it is that Battlefield is obviously much more grounded and much more realistic and more team-focused than Call of Duty is. Call of Duty is more arcadey, I feel like. It's much more fast-paced, action-packed, and arcade feeling. But it is also very frustrating because of that. And of course, it is also very, very unrealistic with how fucking corny and stupid these crossovers have been getting with these skins and shit. That's one of my biggest gripes. I'm getting really tired of, like, the dumb fucking skins. Like, it's one thing to have, like, oh, you know, run around as Anubis, or, like, a glowing zombie, or, like, Red Riding Hood, or, like, some other fantasy character. But then when you start introducing, like, cel-shaded characters and cartoon characters like fucking Beavis and Butthead, it's like, okay, we need to really sit down and reflect on what we're doing here. I'm like, I think everyone's done. I think everyone is done with the Fortnite-ification of Call of Duty. What do you mean? You don't like seeing Alucard fight Nicki Minaj while Homelander watches? Yeah. Fuck, yeah, dude, like, when they randomly just had Alucard in there for no reason. Yeah, like, here's an anime character in Call of Duty, just for no reason. No precedent, no nothing. Here's Alucard. And then just hear him say shit like, throwing grenade. I am reloading. They are capturing B. Loading fresh mag. Like, bro. Oh, we're well past the timer. Fully evolved kick. Could have made a whole boss fight about him. Ah, there's Annette. I don't think I've even played as Annette yet, even though I have her. Oh, she's got like 4 different things going on here. So she's got the clockwork gear. Oh, she's got all the clockwork parts. Okay, so her whole thing is clockwork stuff. Well, I guess I'm gonna pick the gears. Let's go to Gallo Tower, why not? And she gets Clock Tower. Like, why is this not Grant's theme? Like, what sucks is that every time I pick Grant, I'm gonna have to pick this track manually. Do 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 do. You know what's unfortunate? I already know that there's gonna be some people who play this for the first time, who have no experience with Castlevania. They're gonna see Annette, and they're gonna be like, why is she not black? What's Grant's theme? The one you're listening to right now, Clockwork. Why is she white? Why did they whitewash Annette? Like, what the fuck? This is complete horseshit. I could have swore that when I watched the series, she was a slave. She was black. Like, what the fuck? Oh, when you pick Grant, I think his track is Mad Forest, Syphus theme. Which, I mean, not a bad track, but it's like I would much rather Grant have his own theme, you know? Is that a reference to Judgment or something? Well, no, it's, well, I think they used the Judgment version of the track, I think. I don't know. I think they just use Mad Forest in general. I don't think it's a reference to Judgment, it's just that Mad Forest is Sypha's theme, and it is in Castlevania 3. And because they didn't have Clockwork, they had to use something, right? But now that they have Clockwork, it's like, why not make that his respective theme now? Why not change it to where every time I pick Grant, I'm going to hear Clockwork? You know? Because that's it. That's his theme. Do-do-do-do-dee. Do-dee-dee. Do-do-do-dee. Do-do-do. Oh, right. All four of these, by the way, this is an interesting union. So this is one of those things where you have to have all four of these weapons, which normally you only need, like, 2 weapons to have a union. This is one where you need all 4 of the clock parts to make a union. So if you have all 4 of these clockwork parts, which Annette does have, then you will unlock the clock tower weapon union. So after we fully upgrade all these clock parts, we will see what the union looks like. And it's already looking pretty overpowered the way it is right now. Like, look at all this coverage we're getting. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. I like that. I like that part in this remix. That do-do-do, 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 do-do-do. Oh my god, the crabs. How far are we? Oh, okay. So we still need to level up the Medusa head and the lift thingy, the other part. I don't even know what the hell that's supposed to be. If Mega Man defeated a Belmont, would he just get a strong faith in Jesus Christ as a power-up? What? I guess. I mean, my mind would just go to him having like a whip power-up, but I like that answer a lot more. That's funny. Fucking strong faith in Jesus as a power-up. Fuck. Ooh, new card. Projectiles generate explosions when they expire. Ooh, I'll take that. I tweeted, like I think it was like 2 days ago. I made a tweet directed at Ponkle, kind of like a lighthearted tweet. I was like, you know, Ponkle, you know, it'd be fantastic if, you know, as a joke, you know, if you like gave us one more character and just included Malice in the game, you know, as a joke, of course. That'd be awesome, right? That'd be so funny if you guys gave us Malice. just one more character. Come on, man, you can make that happen. You've got all these other Castlevania 64 characters in the game. Well, like, why not? Ooh, there we go. Oh, look at all those level ups. You know, if I really feel like it, ooh, is that the... Which one is that for? Is that the... Oh, that's for the, Oh, what is that for? Oh, what the fuck? Now he's on my head. Fucking the Balatro clown's on my head. Oh, that's the Celestial Booster. That's the card thing. Well, now I've got a fucking Balatro clown stuck on my head. I wonder how I even evolved that. It's just like, is that just a automatic evolve or what? Or is that required? Let me check. Oh, it needs the... But it gives you that automatically, though. So does that even matter? It might as well just be automatic, because when you get the Celestial Booster, you get the Balatro Clown automatically. So... Okay. I will have to keep that in mind. Oh, there it is, clockwork. Oh, it's gonna get batshit insane in here. Ooh, and we have a new weapon slot. Cool. Speaking of, there's a candy box. I guess we can get a... Light, fuck it. Just a light power-up. Shoot some light projectiles. Balls of light. Oh, did I die? Oh, the Grim Reaper is there. The Green Death is there. I didn't even see him. See, that's part of the problem when you get into late game like this. Like, you get so overpowered that you can't see shit on screen. I didn't even... See, there he is again! Aw, we didn't get to make it to the full half hour. Well, damn. Oh, we evolved the Celestial... Okay, cool. Well, okay, that was a net, I guess. Terra. Starts with temporarily reduced cooldown. Overhealing slightly decreases cooldown, okay. Rosaries are easier to find. Okay, so we can get more screen wipes that way. Okay, that's not that bad of a buff. Let's go to Melise. Did they include Lords of Shadow characters? No, they did not. And I actually made a tweet about that a few days ago. I was like, you know, despite how much they've doubled down on including everybody from Castlevania, it is kind of crazy how we still don't have even one character from Lords of Shadow. Like, say what you want about the games, they can be a little bit mixed. I know for most people that Lords of Shadow 1 is great, and some people even say that Mirror of Fate is the best one. Lords of Shadow is pretty iconic in its own right. I feel like even just Gabriel, I feel like if we just got Gabriel, that would have been fine, because I feel like Gabriel Belmont is iconic in his own respect, right? I think that's fair to say. But it's like... Hold on, let me get a decent weapon start here. Like, yeah, at least include Gabriel, at the very least, right? And I get that they said that, like, oh, you know, it's a licensing thing, which I imagine that's probably why they couldn't do it, because there might have been some type of licensing restriction getting in the way. But it's like, man, it really does suck not having even a single Lords of Shadow character, because when you really think about it, Lords of Shadow had a lot more influence than you'd think. Smash Brothers used the combat cross as Simon and Richter's whip design. The Netflix show used the Belmont crest from Lords of Shadow for their show. So Lords of Shadow definitely had a lot of influence in tons of areas. Even if the games are mixed, again, I don't even think they're bad games. They are just very mixed. They're fine games on their own, but I do think that most hardcore fans just kind of feel indifferent to them. They're okay. They're fine on their own. I don't think they're bad games whatsoever. They're just kind of like, they just exist, right? They exist, they serve their purpose. They're an interesting take on the Castlevania universe. They're not offensive, but they're not spectacular either. They're fine, right? So I'm like, why couldn't we just get at least one Lords of Shadow character? Like, I'm not expecting them to add, like, Lords of Shadow variants for Alucard and Trevor and Simon. Like, Gabriel would have sufficed. I think that would have been more than okay. Because that would have been like, okay, we got one Lords of Shadow rep. That's fine. But we couldn't even get that. It's like, man, you said that everyone was here? Man, that sucks. But I'll tell you what, though, I do appreciate all the Castlevania 64 rep we got. I know a lot of people don't like Lords of Shadow 2, but I liked it. I think there's a novelty to being able to play as Dracula. I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I like it, is just being able to have like a big power fantasy, being able to play as Dracula and just go around killing people with your blood whip and sucking blood from people, and I don't know, I liked it. You know, there were some aspects I didn't like about it, like the fucking stealth shit. I really didn't like that aspect of the game, but everything else, though, I was okay with. And yeah, I wouldn't mind if they did a remastered trilogy of it either. Like, if they did a remastered trilogy of Lords of Shadow, I'd be all for it. You know, oh wait, I already have Grand Cross, because she already started with that. What do I want for her? Yeah, Lords of Shadow actually tried to build up its own world, yeah, instead of cannibalizing the OG series. And that's why I tend to respect it a lot more. I know, like, people get on me for that. They're like, oh, how can you hate the Netflix show for being different, but you love Lords of Shadow? Because there's a big, big difference with how they present themselves, right? I've said this, like, again, I've said this many times before already, and I'm, you know, beating a dead horse by saying this, but I've already said it. Lords of Shadow feels like it comes from a place of passion, and you can definitely feel that when playing it. Whereas Netflix feels like it comes from a place of hatred and contempt for both the games and its audience. And that's why I can't stand it. Whenever I watch Netflixvania, it feels like it is punishing me for being a Castlevania fan. It's telling me, how dare you like the games? How dare you be a fan of the games and the universe that it's set in? This is the universe that you should like, because it's more realistic to the real world. It has representation. It has diversity. It has social political commentary. It has shit that you should care about. It has black queens in it. Like, bro. Yes, and unlike Netflixvania, Lords of Shadow has a decent story. Above all else, it has a decent story. Like, the whole downfall with Gabriel Belmont's whole arc is great. His whole arc is a million times better than anything that is going on in Netflixvania. For sure. I don't know why I grabbed the Kaiser Knuckles. That absolutely does not fit her whatsoever. Why the fuck did I grab the Kaiser Knuckles for Terra? I just have my brain shut off for this. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to talk and I just turn my brain off. Also, I noticed that it didn't give her a, it didn't give us a Castlevania track for this. It's just playing a Vampire Survivors track. Huh. I guess they just didn't bother to give her her own respective theme. Alright. I mean, I know it's Terra we're talking about. She doesn't exactly have a theme, but, you know... You could have just slapped something Castlevania-related on her, I don't know. But no. Yeah. It is the way it is. You know, I say that, you know, I'm just glad that they didn't cater and give in to putting Netflixvania shit in this game. I'm very happy that they never did that. That makes me happy. I'm so glad that they never fucking caved in and did some shit like that. Right. I do remember that. Like, the Combat Cross and the Vampire Killer are two different things. I know a lot of people love Lords of Shadow 1. And I mean, it was a fine game. I beat it. I tend not to like that one nearly as much. Like, it's a great story, it's very cinematic. But my biggest gripe with that game is the overabundance of puzzles. I do not like that about that game. That game is way too heavy on the puzzles. And I find that it breaks the pacing of the game, and I'm like, dude, I would rather just be running around killing shit. I really don't feel like doing this thing with this thing with the witch's hut where I'm being shrunk down to the size of a pea, and I'm having to run around this jukebox and having to fix shit. I'm like, dude, what am I doing here? Like, can we just get back to the whole, like, trying to get to the mask, please? Like, I really don't feel like doing all these goddamn puzzles. And, I mean, Mirror of Fate had its puzzles, but I thought you could skip those. I think they gave you the option to skip the puzzles in Lords of Shadow at the expense of, like, losing XP. Yeah, having to press shields in the right order, yeah, like, it's just... It's a fun game and all, but, man, they definitely could have lightened up on the puzzles, for sure. Lords of Shadow 2 didn't have a whole lot in terms of puzzles. Again, its biggest flaw was just the stealth shit, in my opinion. I think that's kind of why I tend to favor Lords of Shadow 2 above the first one, is because of the, you know, because of the fact that they don't have as many puzzles in that game, right? Because it's not a very puzzle-centric game. Right, okay, so Lords of Shadow 1 has... okay. I wonder what Lords of Shadow 3 might have been like. Yeah, so do I. Yeah, because I remember how Lords of Shadow 2 ended. Like, there wasn't even any real closure. Like, you beat Satan, and then you fall to the ground, and then Dracula and Alucard, they reunite, they kind of have their reunion for a little bit, and then they go back inside the castle, and then they just fuck off. Like, okay. Did Alucard put him to rest? Is there going to be another adventure at some point? Does Alucard have another adventure later on? Does he just, like, what happens? Like, we know that Dracula's whole thing in the second game was that he was trying to be put to rest for eternity so that he could escape from his, you know, he didn't want to be immortal for the rest of his life. He hated being a vampire, which, again, goes into his whole tragic arc, which is why I think the story is great. But it's like, I do wonder what we would have gotten for Lords of Shadow 3. Guess we'll I mean, I'm sure someone can ask. I'm sure, like, someone can ask, like, one of the writers or directors, be like, hey, what was the plan going to be? One of the ideas for Lords of Shadow 3 would have been about the apocalypse. Oh, okay. Well, obviously, the other thing, too, is that, well, okay, we killed Satan. We literally killed the devil. Like, well, now what happens? How does this affect the world now that we killed Satan? I think that's probably the biggest question, is, like, how does the world change because of that? Yeah. No, Lords of Shadow had a lot of interesting, takes on its storytelling, for sure. A lot of interesting liberties, lots of different takes and different directions that they took. And of course, all done in a respectful way. All done in ways that respect the source material. Not some dumb, stupid shit like, oh, no, the cross... Oh, yeah, it's not because it's a holy symbol. It's actually because the cross confuses them. You know, the shape of an X actually confuses them, and it causes them to go apeshit. Yeah, it has nothing to do with being holy, even though we use holy water in this show, by the way. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. Fucking stupid. I swear, it just feels like I'm going on autopilot with these characters sometimes. Like, once I reach, like, the 15-minute mark, I'm just going on autopilot. I love how they chose not to use Julius and instead created Victor. Speaking of Victor, you know what's funny about that? When I first played Lords of Shadow 2, I didn't know who Victor Belmont was, because I had no idea, like, about Castlevania Resurrection or any of that. I had no idea who Victor was. But when I played it, when Victor came on screen and he introduced himself as Victor, when he said, because here's the thing, he says it like, I'm Victor. Now, hear me out, okay? Most characters in Lords of Shadow, they tend to speak with an accent, which is different because a lot of the time in these games, they usually have like the Funimation, like English anime dub voice actors that have it like they have like that typical American accent, right? Most Castlevania games don't bother giving their characters like a Romanian accent or anything like that, right? So when Victor came on screen and he introduced himself as Victor, I was like, oh, is that Richter? Because he was wearing blue. He was blue, and I was like, okay, he's a Belmont, he's wearing blue, and he said his name was Victor. And because these characters have an accent, I thought he was saying Richter, but with a Romanian accent. Like, I'm Victor. Victor Belmont. I'm like, okay, but no, his name is Victor. That was actually Victor Belmont. I'm like, oh, I thought it was Richter. No. Yes, so yes, I did think that it was Richter at first, because I didn't know who Victor Belmont was, and because of them having a Romanian accent, I thought he was saying Richter with an accent. Okay, so now that we've played as Hugh, Morris, Annette, and Tara, we can now move on to Arikado. This ought to be fun. Let's go to the lab. I don't know if we're gonna survive this or not, but we'll try. Ooh, are we gonna be able to see what the clam? I keep forgetting how to pronounce this thing. It's the clam soulish or whatever it's called. Sholish. The ultimate sort of aria of sorrow, right? No, let's get a gun in here. We're in the future, right? Our Ricardo can use a gun. I know that's what it's called, but there's like some like Irish pronunciation of it or something like that where it doesn't sound the way it looks. Like it's literally pronounced clam soulish or whatever it's called. Like you look at the name and it is not pronounced at all like you think it would sound. Claim soulish, I think I'm gonna have to like refresh myself about it. It's really weird. Actually, let me go back there. What do you think this is, Metroid? What else do I want? I always just say it's the claim. So I mean, it is easier to say it that way. But I guess if you're trying to be authentic about it, you know. Oh, that's a big merman. Oh, he died pretty quick. I need to see what the weapon union is for that, because I don't think I've gotten that yet. That's the one union I haven't bothered getting yet. Oh, it's the box. The Tarada's box, or whatever, the thing that looks like a gold bar. That's easy enough to get. I just have to wait for another Armos Dio to come in. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. There is something that I need to show off, by the way, when we're done here. So, along with all these new remixes, there is one new remix of Dance of Gold that is in here. Dance of Gold being from Symphony of the Night. So, they added a remix of Dance of Gold. And I listened to the full remix on their YouTube channel, and it sounds great. Like most of their remixes do. Sounds fantastic. However, for some strange reason, if you try to play Dance of Gold in this game, there is a very bizarre bug where, like 5 seconds into the track, it just stops and abruptly plays this. The song that we're listening to right here, Ruined Castle Corridor. I don't know why it does that. And the weird part is that it feels deliberate. Like, there's like a little slowdown effect that happens right before this plays. I don't know why that is. They said that they know that it's a problem, but I'm like, how does this even happen? Like, why does Dance of Gold suddenly transition into Ruined Castle Corridor? Why does it do that? Well, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here in a minute when I get the chance. Because it's really weird. I don't know how they let this slip through the cracks. I don't know how you let that happen. It feels deliberate. It really does. A game telling you to go listen to another song. It's like they trolled you. Like, oh, you want to listen to Dance of Gold? Nah, how about Ruined Castle Corridor? What a weird thing to do. I mean, it's a good track, but, like, maybe I want to listen to some Dance of Gold. I like that track. Like, fuck you, Ponkle. Fire twice? That sounds pretty good for that. Yeah, take it. come on, I want to get that. I want to get that. I'm just gonna start making up random names for it now. I want to get that clam solish. Give me that clam. Give me that clam solid. Give me that clam deliciousness. Oh my god, look at all those level ups. Lord of Shadow Dracula in this game would recreate Lord of Shadow 2. Yeah. Tarona's box, there it is. Give me that. All right, we're gonna get the clam chowder. How many more do I have to... Oh, I can get it right now. So I just need to find a chest. And I might survive this, who knows? Especially depending on how strong that clam milkshake is. The opening to Lord of Shadow 2 is still cool. There is one thing I cringe about with Lord of Shadow 2's intro. You know when he gets out on his balcony and he's looking at the giant Colossus thing? And he goes, "What is a man but a miserable pile of secrets?" I'm like, oh, come on, dude. You really had to phone that in there? Really? You really had to get that in there just once, didn't you? Come on, give me my clam shish. The clam shish. He did the reference, he said the thing. Say the line, Bart. Do the roar. Do it. Oh, they're coming in hot. Where's the goddamn chest when I need one, man? Oh, there's one over here. Grab it, grab it. Oh, the guns. Wait a minute. Give me my shit. Why'd you upgrade the guns? Give me my clam shit stain. I'm pretty sure you don't have to max out the passive, you just have to max out the weapon to get it. As long as you have the passive, you should get it like every next chest you get. I don't know. Okay, maybe next chest? Oh man, that slowdown, too much shit. Look at all these Alucards. Look at all these Alucard shadow clones. Oh my god. What's going on? So much shit. I can't even see what's going on screen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I don't buy any golden eggs. Because of that. It's already bad enough that once you get strong enough, you already can't see shit. Okay, let's pick the random. Oh my god, all that slowdown. Oh, there goes the music. Yep, that happens a few times. It only happened with this update, I've noticed. There's been a few times since this new update that whenever you get too strong, whenever there's too much going on, the music will cut out. I've never had that happen before until this new update. Like, shit could get super, super chaotic as much as possible. Like, we could slow the game down hella, but the music would still keep going, but... Man, it's like the third time I've seen this happen. That kind of sucks. Well, now you just get this awkward silence with a bunch of game noises now. Ugh, we have to listen to gameplay. Come on, I want to listen to my Is that actually a Symphony of the Night sprite? What, for Alucard? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is. Of course, I'm talking about the giant shadow clone Alucard, not Arikado, the one I'm playing as, because obviously Arikado was not in Symphony of the Night. Duh. Just saying that for anybody who's confused about what I'm talking about. Oh my god, so much shit! Like, I know there's a lot going on screen, but that doesn't mean you gotta cut the music out. Oh god. Oh god, I can't see anything. Oh my god! Holy hell, you see all that? I don't even know if the stream's gonna capture that. It's probably gonna, like, compress the hell out of the screen because of that. Oh, there it is. There's my clam shit stain. Alright, cool. We got the sword. I'm probably not even gonna be able to see what it does because of all the shit going on screen, but alright. Dude, look at all these level ups. What is happening? What is happening right now? Why are we getting so many level ups? Why am I getting all these, like... What is happening? I don't think Arikado gets these kind of... I don't remember him... Well, his description didn't say what buffs he gets. So I don't know if this is because of him, or the stage, or what. What the fuck? We're already like level 500 and we're still going. Look at all these candy boxes. Oh my god, dude. What is happening? I can't see anything. Oh my... Oh, Alucard shield. Hello? How did I get that? Requires 6 evolutions and 6 passives. Oh, okay, so that's new. Okay. But too bad I won't be able to really... Oh, there it is. I can see it. I can just see it. Yeah, dude, the level up counter just won't stop. It just keeps going up. What the fuck is happening right now, dude? Okay, we've calmed down a little bit. Okay, we've got some breathing room. What was that, dude? How did that happen? I think we might have reached the time limit for this stage. I think that's what happened, because when you get toward the time limit of the stage, that's when they start busting out all the tough enemies. And there was a lot of tough enemies, and I think when they drop all those tough enemies on you, you get a shit... Oh god, here it goes again. Dude, what the fuck? You know, it'd be nice if I could see my character. It'd be nice if I could see all the damage that I'm doing. I can just barely see the clam stash. I can barely see the claim check. Who needs LSD when you got this? Like, seriously, dude, when you reach, like, a powerful enough rank in this game, this whole game just becomes an LSD trip. Like, what am I looking at? Like, literally, what the fuck am I looking at right now, dude? This wasn't even intentional. Like, how am I doing this right now? We're level 575. How did I get here? I didn't even do this on purpose. Does Alucard just come with some, like secret buff that I don't know about? Dude, what the fuck? Look at this shit! Dude, I don't even want to know what the stream looks like. It's probably compressed as a motherfucker. There's probably hella artifacting going on. It probably looks like Oh my god, listen to that audio. Oh my god. I think I'm just gonna quit. I think we're done here. I'm gonna make it to the 30-minute mark just in case, because I want to make sure that I actually, like, beat the stage. But, oh my god, dude, listen to that audio. Well, we got the upgraded Flamberge. Gotta grind until it crashes. You could. And by the way, this game has crashed on me quite a bit since the update. A lot of bad things have gone on with this game since the update. Music keeps cutting out, the game keeps crashing. Yeah, it didn't used to do that before. The game never really crashed on me before the update, but now it has, like, a few times. So I do hope that they address that soon, because I love this game. And I hate the fact that it crashes on me, and I hate when the music cuts out when I'm trying to listen to it. Dude, what the fuck? Alucard, I did not know you had ball like this. I was not familiar with your game, dude. What the hell, man? Level 642 and climbing. Okay, we're done. We're done. 30 minutes. Get me out of here. Get me out of this fucking train wreck nightmare of a stage. What was that, dude? Yeah, see, he doesn't even have any stat description. It just says totally not Alucard. What? Okay, what are his stats? On the left side of the screen. Okay, what do we have? Okay, compared to everybody else, he doesn't even really have anything that crazy going on. He has, like, your average stats. So I don't, like, he probably has some weird mystery buffs that we don't know about. What the fuck? That was crazy. That was wild, dude. I could play as Astarte, but I kind of want to play as Drolta. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of want to play as Drolta because she's like a main villain. I think I'm gonna play as Drolta. Let's go to the tiny bridge. Do I really want to do that? Am I gonna regret going here? I think I'm gonna regret going here, but let's do it. Ooh, Calling from Heaven. Yes, we get to listen to this. Now, please, game, please don't cut this track out when shit gets too hectic. Please don't cut the music out when shit gets crazy. I would appreciate that if you didn't take out my music. Here, I'm just gonna let the song play for a little bit. This is so dangerous. And yes, Arikado did have Ruined Castle Corridor before it was so rudely cut off. Okay, maybe this won't be as bad as I thought. You know, this stage is a little bit risky because you only have a horizontal plane to work with. It is a very tight, confined space. That can work to your benefit sometimes because it means you're not getting swarmed from above, but that also means you don't have much room to run around in if you do get sandwiched. So, you know, pick your poison. So Drolta's Og, I didn't even see the sword there. See, that's the problem. But no, Drolta's main move are these frogs. Kind of like a plague. A little bit. Okay, so I need to be really careful because I just recklessly wasted a life. I need to be really careful with these giant floating swords, these Elastor swords getting in my way. I need a better AoE attack, like bad. I should probably invest in that. Probably invest in like a Bibble or something, maybe a Laurel. I definitely need a better AoE. Oh my god, see, I'm getting fucked up. This is not good. Not good. I need a better AoE than this. Fuck, man. guess we're just gonna keep upgrading the frogs. You know what? Since we're playing as Drolta, I want to talk about something interesting, because this is something that has been speculated about for a long time, and something that I just recently realized. And it's still not even really confirmed, but it's fun to talk about. So Drolta here, I did not realize that she was actually a character until somewhat recently, because I never really paid attention to, like, the lore of Bloodlines very much. Like, I never looked at the manual, I never looked at, like, the extra characters and whatnot. But Drolta is supposed to be, like, one of the antagonists of that game. She's supposed to be, like, the one behind the scenes of everything. She's the one that helped to resurrect Dracula and whatnot. Now, here's the thing that's weird, okay? During the boss fight with Dracula, when you get to his second phase, you might remember when he transforms into that mage-looking form. When he's flying around, he's got the wand, and he's just floating around the room. There is a theory that that is meant to be Drolta. That is what I've been hearing for a long time. That Dracula's second phase is actually meant to be Drolta, and then when you defeat Drolta, Dracula comes back as his third form. Or I guess his second form in this case. But basically, yes, it's Dracula, and then Drolta, and then Dracula again, right? Now, the reason why this is weird, and why I don't believe this, is because of, one, how very poorly conveyed it is. Because, one, why would you be fighting Dracula just for him to transform into Drolta? Like, it'd be one thing if it was animated in such a way where, like, oh, you beat Dracula's first phase, and then off-screen, Drolta comes in and tries to, like, get in the way. But that doesn't happen. Dracula quite explicitly transforms into Drolta. Apparently. Now, me personally, the reason why I don't believe it's Drolta is because I always just thought that form, I always thought Dracula's second phase was meant to be like a callback to his warlock form from Castlevania 3. Like, you remember the Dracula fight from Castlevania 3, the first form where he looks like a wizard, where he's got like the staff in his hand? I thought it was a callback to that. But I guess people think that is meant to be Drolta, but I don't know. And again, this is not confirmed. It's just a very, very popular fan theory, which, I mean, it's cool and all, but you know, there's arguments to be made and against it. You know, I don't know. I guess whatever you choose to believe in. Me personally, I don't know if I can say that it's Drolta, because again, it's not conveyed very well, you know? I think Dracula just transformed into a wizard for his second phase, and then he just transforms into that giant demon. Because if it was meant to be Drolta, I think they could have animated that a lot better. It was a Sega Genesis game. I'm almost positive they could have animated it to where it looked like Drolta was just jumping in and holding you off to protect him. Like, oh, here I am, I'm Drolta, now fight me. Fight me while I buy Dracula some time. But it doesn't come across that way. I don't know. Believe what you want to believe. It is fun to talk about, though. Because the thing is, like, again, not helping either, is that throughout the whole game, you don't even see Drolta. She doesn't even appear in the in-game credits. She doesn't appear in the intro, and she doesn't appear in the outro either. I think she's only really stated in the manual. So it's like, yeah, it makes sense that when you're just playing the game, that you have no idea who this character is meant to be, nor do you realize, like, oh, that's meant to be Drolta during the second phase? I had no clue, because no one ever even made mention of her. I just thought it was another Dracula form. My bad. Okay. Yeah, fun little fan theory. Probably one of the more interesting Castlevania fan theories out there that, yeah. Are we having this thing happen again? Because it feels like it's going to happen again. A lot of shit's going on screen again. I feel like we're going to lose the music at some point. Ooh, candy box. I feel like we're probably going to lose the music again. Because we're already at the 13-minute mark. Well, now 14. We're at the 14-minute mark, and we've had a few instances of clusterfuck shit happening on screen where it slowed the game down. We might lose the music again. So I'm going to stay quiet so we can enjoy this music for a little bit longer while we can. God, there's frogs everywhere. Frogs everywhere. And see, we're already at level 108. Maybe we might be good if we don't accidentally pick up another one of those goddamn golden fingers again. Because I think that's what's going on. I keep picking up golden fingers, and whenever you pick up a golden finger, it will, like, increase your attack rate. And that's what's causing the shit to go, like, that's what's causing the game to fuck off. Because whenever you pick up a golden finger, it causes, like, your attack rate to increase by, like, 3 times or whatever, and it makes the game just spaz out. Just picking whatever dark, like, evil spell I can find. Because I'm a witch! Oh, there's the Chaos Rune. Yep. There it is again. Yep, I knew it. Man, okay. That is the second time in a row that that's happened so far. Yeah, they need to address that. Because I'm telling you, that never used to happen before. That never happened. But that is the second time in a row where we've lost the music. Man. And we're not even at, like, we're only at the 20-minute mark. This shit hasn't even gotten that crazy yet. Yeah, they gotta fix that, dude. By the way, we're stuck. Because I picked the Chaos Rune, and I think when you pick the Chaos Rune and you level it up, I think it just makes you stuck, and you just kind of have to sit there and let it do whatever. I think it just does this. Yeah, I guess we're safe, we're protected, I guess, but I kind of wish I could move. I kind of want to pick up that chest right there. Does this go away, or am I just stuck? I think I'm just stuck. I think when you get the Chaos Rune, you're just stuck. That's kind of a weird power-up. I don't know if I like that. I think if that's the case, I don't know if I'm ever going to pick up the Chaos Rune again. I don't think I like this, I don't like this power-up. I kind of like to have the ability to move. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be going away. It'd be one thing if this was like a 10-second, like, power-up, Like, if this was like a 10-second ability where it stops you and then it, like, does this thing where it kills everything in its tracks to be, like, super overpowered. But, like, I still can't move. I think I'm legitimately stuck for the rest of the run. Not a good power-up to have. I don't know if I like this. Yeah, and it doesn't even... Hold up, am I seeing this right? Look on the edge of the screen. It looks like the enemies aren't even moving. So they're not even attempting to get close to me. They're just sitting there. The fuck kind of ability is this? So, not only do I not get to move, the enemies don't get to move. Okay, we're done here. You take away my music and you take away my movement. I don't know if I want to be here anymore. We're done with that. Alright. Actrice. Finally, we get to the Castlevania 64 character. Oh boy. Well, now, we get to hear my favorite remix of the bunch. Castlevania 64 Medley of Illusions. I have been waiting for this. And you know what? I kind of want to stop the stream here. I kind of want to make this the last character, but I kind of want to play as Zephyr before I end the stream. I'll probably do that. But yes, we finally get to listen to this track. And you know what? I'm going to make damn sure that we don't lose this track. That we don't lose the music mid-run. No, you know what? No, hang on. I know how to circumvent this problem. It's because I keep picking this Darkazo card. Because every time we level up, you see in the middle there, it says we have a chance of picking up that golden finger. Now, the reason why I always go with this Darkazo is because every time we level up, we get things like Armos Dio, we get candy boxes, we get attract orbs. We get a lot of good stuff out of this. This is probably one of the best cards in the game because of that. But if it's going to get to a point where it's like taking away our music because of how much shit's happening on screen, I'm just going to have to leave it out. Sorry. That's fine. We can make do with what we have. Anyway, let's listen to this music real quick. Fucking amazing. I was surprised when I first heard that track, because when I saw the track listing and it said Medley of Illusions, I thought it was just gonna be, like, an arrangement of Dance of Illusions specifically from Castlevania 64, but no, it's a whole medley track comprised of a bunch of different tracks from Castlevania 64. So you've got the opening title track, Signs of Blood Relationship, and then you've got Nosferatu, and then you've got Dance of Illusions, of course, and then you've got Castle Center. You got like 4 different tracks in one. Just awesome stuff, dude. Like, as someone who loves Castlevania 64, as someone who just loves that game, like, this is awesome, dude. I love Ponkel for this, man. Just massive, massive props to them for making this track, dude. Like, I love the Castlevania 64 rep in this game. It just sucks that we don't have Malice, though, dude. Like, just hearing that beginning of the track, hearing the do 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 do, and hearing like the Divine Bloodlines part with the violin, I'm like, man, it just makes me wish Malice was here, dude. Because every time I hear that title track, I just think of Malice with the violin, and it's like, man, it's just not the same. But yeah, I forgot to read, when I picked Actrice, I forgot to read her buff. So she specializes with the Rune Tracer. So if we can get our hands on that, which I probably should have done when I had the chance. I mean, well, we're not going to get a candy box. I forgot we didn't pick that. So unless I don't know. I guess I'm just going to have to get lucky. I mean, I guess we don't need the Rune Tracer, but, you know, it's just something that she specializes in. God, I love that theme, dude. Just makes me want to play Castlevania 64 again, Konami. Come on, Konami, make it happen. Make it happen. That Castlevania, that 3D Castlevania collection can't come soon enough. Come on. Give us Castlevania 64 and Legacy of Darkness and whatever. Give us Lament of Innocence and Curse of Darkness. Come on. Let's make it happen. Do I want to pick this? I want that candy box, but man, I don't know if it's worth it for the golden finger. Like, all the golden finger spam, I don't know if it's worth it. Just give me this. I want to hear this music, man. I don't want to risk this music getting taken away from me again. This track is too good for that. I feel like we're already overpowered enough as it is. Come on. This is the kind of time I would go boot up Castlevania 64 on my 3D collection. If I had one. Someday, Juan. Don't worry. It'll happen soon enough. They surprised us with the Dominus collection. I'm sure they'll surprise us with the 3D collection out of nowhere, too. They'll probably shadow drop that on us at some point soon. I don't know, but I feel like they should have done it during October, but who knows? They could surprise us at some other point. Who knows? Wasn't the Dominus collection dropped in January? It was dropped in September. Which is weird, because I specifically remember when it happened, too. I think it was around the time when we got... what was it? It was either the release of the console version of Vampire Survivors, or it was the Ode to Castlevania DLC. I think it was both. I think it was around the same time as the Ode to Castlevania DLC when that dropped. I forget. But yeah, no, it was September. Yeah, okay, yeah, no, it was, yeah, shortly, yeah. Yeah, you're right, it was Halloween, I forgot. The console launch was September, I believe. And then shortly after was when they had the Ode to Castlevania DLC. Because I remember when the Dominus Collection dropped, and I was telling my bro about it. He's like, because I was hyped about Vampire Survivors coming to consoles, and then Ode to Castlevania, and he was like, I know, yeah, it was Vampire Survivors. He was like, oh yeah, surely that Castlevania collection's got to be better than Vampire Survivors. I'm like, yeah, you're damn right it is. Like, motherfucker, I've been waiting for this. Like, I love Vampire Survivors, but I'm like, dude, fucking a new Castlevania collection, that's a million times better than anything I've been waiting for, dude. Fucking, yeah, it's better than Vampire Survivors. You out of your mind? I love that they put Nosferatu in there. That is so dope. That track never gets any remixes. Ah, man, we only got 6 more minutes. We can't be here much longer. Someone asked me about the Dominus Collection in college. I remember when the Dominus Collection came out, because I streamed it immediately when it dropped. Like, the second it dropped, I was streaming it ASAP. And because of that, I think I was one of the first people to beat Haunted Castle Revisited for the first time. At least on stream. I was at least one of the first people to do it. I'm not going to say that I was the first person to beat it, but I do think I was one of the first. Especially to do it on stream, especially. I don't know. It's a very easy game. Haunted Castle Revisited is honestly probably the easiest game in the series, as a matter of fact. It's a great, fun game and all. My only gripe with it is that, one, it's too short. I definitely wish that there was more of it, because it is a fantastic game to play. It is a very, very fun and well-made game. So not only do I wish it were longer, but I also wish that it were a little bit harder, because, yeah, that game is incredibly easy. Like, way too fucking easy. That game has way too forgiving checkpoints. It doesn't have any instant death pits. The enemies don't do shit for damage, even on hard mode. They only do, like what was it, like 2 hits of damage? I do appreciate that when you pick hard mode, they do increase, like, the enemy count. Like, they put more enemies in more areas. That is pretty cool. But I still wish the game was harder, though. Yeah, dude, whenever you fall in a pit, they bring you back up to the last floor that you were standing on. There is no instant death pits anymore. It's one of those kind of games. Well, that's the weird thing. They added a hard mode, but the hard mode only increased the enemy count. They didn't make it to where, like, they didn't make the checkpoints more demanding. They didn't make it to where, oh, you fall down a pit, you actually die. So fundamentally, the game is still piss easy. All they did was increase the enemy count. Yeah, so, yeah, it is nice to have a level select, and you can actually pick, like, what segment of the level you want to play to. That, I thought, was pretty cool. It also makes it pretty handy for boss rush, so if you want to, like, practice against a boss, you could do that. So, that is a pretty nice feature for them to have. Well, we hit the 30-minute mark, and unfortunately we gotta leave. We have to leave this amazing remix behind. Come on, I gotta listen to it one more time. I gotta let it have one more loop. It's just so fucking good. Man, that's good stuff. Alright, we'll leave. If Harmony... Okay, so you're talking about Harmony Dissonance VK has Clockwork in it. Does that mean Maxim is a descendant of Dynasty? That is a popular theory that I've been hearing about. Well, actually, I hear two sides. I hear that Maxim is a descendant of the Dynasty, and I hear like speculation that he has like Belmont blood in him too. I've heard both of those, and it's interesting to talk about. I don't know definitively, but I have heard like theories about him being related to the Dynasties or him being like related to the Belmonts in some way. I don't know, but yeah, fun to think about. All right, so I think a fitting way to end this off is to play as Zephyr, the fucking JoJo reference himself. Adept with Knives gains a cooldown and movement speed bonus when picking up Orologians, whatever those are. Huh. I don't know what that is. What would be a good stage for him? Let's go to the Bone Zone. I probably want something that does good with bounces. Yeah, like for the knives. Yeah, here we go. Because we're going to be using tons of knives and daggers and shurikens and... Oh, he's got the NES remix. He's got the Out of Time. The, what was that, the bridge? God, every time I hear this music, I just think about those giant bats. I know Hammer was supposed to be playable in Julius mode. Yeah, I know with him, he absolutely was meant to be a Dynasty descendant. I know that's the case for Hammer, without a doubt. Like, he is meant to be a Dynasty. I like to imagine Hammer jumping on the ceiling and climbing it. Like he's got, like one day he discovers that he's related to the Dynasties because he tries to hop on walls. He's like, I'm gonna jump on this wall and see what happens. And like he's got Spider-Man powers and he just automatically clings to it. He's like, huh, what do you know? Come on, give me a new weapon. I need like a new like blade or something like. Yeah, give me a shuriken. There you go. Give me projectiles I can throw. But is he a full Dynasty descendant? Well, here's the thing. It's heavily implied because once again in Julius mode, the idea with Julius mode and Dawn of Sorrow was that it's meant to be a callback to Castlevania 3 because you're playing as a Belmont, you're playing as a Belnatus, and then you have Alucard with you. The only person missing would be a Dynasty. And for all intents and purposes, that would have been Hammer. But since, obviously, because they couldn't make him playable in time, we didn't get that. So it's heavily implied that he's meant to be a Dynasty. And again, we don't even know his last name. They don't reveal what his last name is, and I think that kind of offers itself to speculation because of that. I like to believe that he is a Dynasty because of that. Because, I mean, look, he's bald, he wears green. I don't know. That's another topic in and of itself I wanted to, like, ask on Twitter. Hammer time. But no, that's another question I wanted to ask on Twitter was, like, because I've seen various depictions of Grant with and without hair, and I'm like, you know, how do you believe he looks? Like, what is your idea of how Grant looks? Do you think he has hair, or do you think he's bald? Me personally, I like drawing him bald because, you know, there's not enough bald characters in Castlevania. Like, we got Hammer, we got Zed. And I like drawing characters that don't have eyebrows either. There's just something fun about drawing characters that look like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's a refreshing change of pace. It's more challenging and fun to draw that way, drawing a bald character with no eyebrows. And plus, it lines up better with his demon form anyway, because when you fight him in the clock tower, his demon form is bald. So it makes sense that when he turns back into a human, he would also be bald. I think that he had white hair and that he shaved. Oh, so we're going down the Judgment route? Where does Judgment Mummy Grant fit in? Nowhere. No, he doesn't fit anywhere. I like to make that joke a lot, that, like... What was his name? Takeshi Obata, right? That's his name. Takeshi Obata, the Death Note mangaka. He saw Grant, he looked at a picture of Grant, and he was like, you know what? Acrobatic thief character, mechanical mummy man. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make him look like a mechanical mummy man. Shinigami. Let's do it like that. Can I pick up a new weapon, please? Fuck it, I'll get the cross. Uh-oh, there's the Green Death, the Green Reaper. The Green Reaper. I mean, no, I like him too, don't get me wrong. I think he was one of the better written characters of the game. Like, the whole fucking, like, jealousy and love triangle thing they had going on, it kind of, like, made him a little bit more complex. Oh god, I didn't even notice he was there. I know some people don't like it, but I'm like, I kind of like that because it cements the idea that Grant isn't just automatically this, you know, friendly goody two-shoes. Like, he's not automatically loyal to Trevor all the time. Like, from the get-go, he already had feelings for Sypha, and he was willing to, like, fight his best friend over her. And be like, oh no, if I can't have her, then you can't either. Like, having to prove himself for Sypha and whatever. Like, you know, I kind of like that. I like that there was some hostility between him and Trevor because of that. But, you know, they eventually got over it, and they're still friends, you know? And I mean, it's a realistic thing that happens sometimes. That does happen in real life sometimes, where shit like that can happen. I've been in one of those situations back in high school where I ended up dating somebody, and I was dating this girl who happened to be the crush of one of my friends. And I didn't know this. I didn't know that my friend had a crush on her. And when he found out that we were dating, he made it a personal vendetta to try to ruin my life for years. He was like, oh, how dare you, you abandoned my trust. You know, I thought we were brothers. I'm like, dude, I didn't even know you had a crush on her. Like, what are you talking about? And she never said anything about it. So yeah, it just goes to show, like, yeah, sometimes, like, especially when you're just young and dumb, like when you're stupid teenagers, it's like, don't let people ruin your life over some fucking girl, dude. It's never that serious. Don't ruin your friendships, don't ruin your brohood, your brotherhood, just because of some fucking girl. It's never worth it, man. But no, eventually, that same guy, the guy that I just talked about who tried to ruin my life for years on end, he actually got a hold of me recently, some time ago, and he apologized. Like, he's like, you know, I was wrong for trying to hold a grudge on you for so many years because of that. It was childish. It was, I'm like, yeah, man, I never held it against him because, again, this happened in high school, man. This happened back in high school, and even then, I knew it was just one of those things. I'm like, he'll get over it. You know, he'll grow up. He'll learn that he was wrong. And yeah, he grew up. He learned he was wrong, and he apologized. And I always, like, I even told him, I'm like, dude, in my mind, you know, even though you tried to ruin my life, and even though you tried to insist that you hated me, you know, in the back of my mind, I always thought that we were still friends, and I was just waiting for you to come back around, right? I know I kind of derailed the topic from talking about Grant and his love triangle thing for Sypha, but yeah, that's kind of how we got here. But yeah, no, I do like Grant in Judgment. I do think that... I like his design, even though it is kind of weird. I do think it is one of the cooler looking designs in the game, though. I do like it. I give it shit, but I do like it. Oh, I just realized I have the fully upgraded knife thing. I have the 1,000 knives, so now I can see her go Muda 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 Muda. Too bad I don't have a steamroller though. Is Judgment Grant a rift between friends or also unrequited love? Oh, unrequited. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Wait, what the fuck? When did I pick up a... Oh, I didn't even know I picked up a whip. Well, that's kind of weird. Seeing Zephyr with a whip. Yeah, there we go. Heaven Sword. And you know what? I would hazard to guess that if they did include Grant in the Netflix show, part of me wants to assume that they would have adopted that subplot. Like, they probably would have included, like, some characterization of Grant being, like, a womanizer, or him being jealous of Trevor having Sypha's attention, or maybe he would have a crush on Sypha, and there would be, like, some eventual hostility between the group because of Grant. But I don't trust them. I don't trust these writers with handling anybody with subtlety. I don't trust these writers to do anything like that with tact. They would make it ham-fisted as fuck. Frankly, yeah, like, look, it's sad that Grant's not in the show, but then again, is it sad? I think he dodged a bullet. I think any Castlevania character that gets excluded from the show is frankly dodging a bullet. So it's like, yeah, I'm glad that they skipped Simon Belmont. I'm glad that they skipped Christopher Belmont. Because at least they don't get to be subjected to this bullshit. At least we don't have to watch them get character assassinated and tarnished, right? Yeah, Grant was smart by staying home for this one. Yeah, no, he was smart. It's like, no, don't be sad. No, don't be sad. Don't be sad that he's gone. You should be happy. Be happy that he didn't get fucking mischaracterized and fucking butchered beyond belief. That he was an Alucard fanboy. Oh my god. Oh, you know what I should have equipped? I should have equipped, like, the Clock Lancet. I should have picked the Time Stop move. That would have been perfect. Perfect! Grant is playfully laughing at what happened to Trevor and Alucard. And Hector. Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, I'm surprised, like... It's crazy because, yeah, you know what? Juiced is probably one of the few characters that was actually treated with some ounce of respect out of all the characters in Netflixvania. It's not perfect. I do think that he could have been written a little bit better, but I do think in terms of Netflix standards, Juiced is probably one of the better written ones. Not great, not perfect, but definitely better written. Definitely better written, though. It is, I will say that, yes, there is definitely novelty, and I do think it is nice seeing an on-screen interaction between Juiced and Richter. That is nice. that was probably one of the best things I could say about Netflixvania and Nocturne as a whole, is that whole exchange between Richter and Juiced is one of the coolest things ever put to screen. Because that's something that, you know, a lot of hardcore Castlevania fans have theorized about, is like, oh, you know, Juiced could technically still be alive in Richter's lifetime. He could. So you could technically have a real-life dialogue between the two, and we actually got to see it. That's cool. I do think that is one of the coolest aspects of Netflixvania, is being able to see Juiced and Richter interact with each other. Now, about how it's executed, you know, that's, you know, your mileage might vary, but, you know, it is still nice to have it regardless, you know. Alright. Alright, Zephyr. Mr. Dio reference, Mr. Muda 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 Muda. I think it's time we wrap it up. Alright. Oh, we even got the Magistone achievement. Okay. Well, that is the Castlevania stuff. That's all the new Castlevania stuff that I had to show off. Obviously, I didn't feel like playing as the other guys, like fucking Shrine Wizard and Astarte and Slogger and Gaibon. Fake Trio, I mean, I'd have to play as all three of them separately, though. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't know if I have it in me to do all three of them. I'll probably save that for like another stream, though. But yeah, that's all the new stuff. That's 16 characters. Pretty decent additions. It's nice to have Hugh and Morris and Annette and, you know, Aricado and Zephyr, Jolt and Actrice. But, you know, a few of these are kind of like, did we really need the Stone Skull? Did we really need that? I guess Ruler Sword's pretty cool, but, like, did we really need, like, Persephone or fucking Jiangshi? Did we really need these? Yeah, like I promise you, you could have replaced the Stone Skull with Malice. That's one character slot you could have used for Malice. Guaranteed. We did not need this, okay? Look, I get why they did it. It's Vampire Survivors. It's a goofy game. They did it for the goof factor, which is totally valid. I understand that. But you gotta understand, like, when you're talking to someone who's like a hardcore Castlevania fan and you have all these characters to pick from, and you're like, ooh, I wonder if my favorite character is gonna get in next. And then you give me this shit, and I'm like, man, you could have put Malice in there. Come on, dude. Come on, man. Anyway. Good stuff. Good stuff all around, though. I love having, you know, again, like I said, I can't be that mad. Even though we didn't technically get everybody, like, we're still missing Desmond, we're still missing Victor, we're still missing Gabriel, you know, we're still missing Malice, we're still missing a bunch of people. We don't technically have everybody, but you know what? Look at all the other characters that we have here. I can't be mad at this. I can't. Especially when a good chunk of these characters have never been playable in any capacity. I can't be mad. Look at all this. This is damn near 100 characters. I can't be mad at that just because they missed a few. I can't be greedy. It sucks not having Malice, and it sucks not having a few others, but you know what? They gave us all these. I can at least be happy with all this. This is a very solid roster, and this is probably one of the best Castlevania collabs of all time. I can't be mad at this. This is the fan service of all fan service. Like, bro, I'm surprised we even got Quincy in this game. Fucking Quincy Morris, a character that has never even been seen in Castlevania, ever. He's only ever been mentioned. This is a character that we don't even ever get to see in-game, and yet he's in this crossover. Fucking crazy. Just nuts, dude. But yeah, no, like, just fantastic stuff. I love the representation. I love the remixes. I love the weapon unions. This is just... Ode to Castlevania is one of the best fan service collaborations of all time. Period. Period. So yeah, they might have missed a few, but that's okay. I can't stay mad. Great stuff. Just great crossover, great stuff, great representation, great playability, and a great fucking game too. This is probably one of the best games to make for this, because, you know, I've always talked about, like, the concept of having, like, a Castlevania, like, Dynasty Warriors. This is probably the closest we're ever going to get to that, because, you know, the idea is that it's a power fantasy, and you want to, like, like slay hordes of monsters all at once. This is what that is. You get to just mow down hordes of monsters and enemies with one Castlevania character, and that's what we have here. This is probably the closest we're going to get to that. And you know what? It scratches that itch. It serves its purpose, and you know what? I like it. So anyway, that was all I had to show off for the, I guess, what do you want to call it? The Ode to Castlevania 2.0 update. And yeah, that's I'm pleased with it. I'm definitely pleased with it. So, good stuff all around. Thanks everyone for chatting. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for hanging and talking, chatting, shooting the breeze, and that was fun. No, we need to talk about the glaring issues of this update though are definitely the bugs. The music cutting out on us while we're playing when too much starts to happen is like, especially when we haven't even really made it that far into the run. Like we're at like the 12-minute mark and then like shit starts happening and then the music gets cut off. That's got to be fixed. That can't be happening, bro. We can't be having stuff like that, bro. That can't be happening. So definitely hope that gets addressed. Because these remixes are too good for us to be getting music cut off like that. I can't be having that happen, bro. These remixes are too god tier. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. And I will catch y'all in the next stream of whatever that might be. So, catch y'all later.